Good morning, and how are you today? Here on this channel, I love asking those homebrew questions that you've always wanted to know and giving you the answers to those questions you've never even thought about. Now today, I have a question I've always pondered upon and wondered about. Which type of sugar, which type of granulated sugar is best for your home brew, for your country winemaking? Now, here in the UK, we have two main varieties and brands of sugar. We have Tate and Lyle, which is a cane sugar, and Silver Spoon, which is a beet sugar. Lots of people who bake, and lots of people who make wine as well, swear by using the Tate and Lyle, the cane sugar, and refuse to use Silver Spoon, the beet sugar. Despite them being chemically the same, the two sugar varieties, well, 99.99% the same anyway. Bakers and brewers say that the taste is better in Tate and Lyle, in the cane sugar. It's crisper, it's fruitier, it has more of an uplifting of flavour and aroma on the nose. Whereas Silver Spoon, the beet sugar, has a more oxidised flavour and a more earthiness to it. If you think about it, one grows above surface, one grows below surface. So one might well have a more earthy texture. The beet might just be a bit more earthy. I get that. Or is it superstition? I don't know. But how does this affect your country wine, your home brew? So I'm going to put this to the test. I'm going to be making 2 gallons of wine using this recipe up by here, and I'll link it down in the comments below. And that is a fruity tea bag wine. There's a few reasons I'm going for fruity tea bags. The first reason is that it's quick to ferment and mature. The second reason is that the flavour of these cranberries and raspberries tea bag wine things isn't going to impart too much of a flavour to overpower the wine. The third reason I'm using tea bag wine is that it's controlled. There's 20 tea bags in each box, both factory produced in the same factory, same warehouse, bought from the same shop, sealed. They should be near enough as identical flavour wise as I can get them to be. Whereas if I bought bananas from the same bunch from the same shop, they will age at slightly different rates. Already there's a big variation between these 4 bananas, all bought from the same shop, from the same bunch. So I can easily put into the wine a controlled measure. The only variance is going to be the cane sugar versus the beet sugar. I can control as much as I can. Once I've made the wine, I'm going to keep them in an identical location, same temperature, same everything throughout, and take hydrometer readings to see if there's any variation or deviance, lovely word, between the two sugar types, the beet and the cane. Which will perform better? Which will the yeast enjoy more? I don't know yet. It's an experiment. I've not heard of any conclusive results about anyone doing this experiment before, so it's a first for me, first for you, and a first for everyone. So I'm going to be making this wine now, keep everything identical apart from that sugar variation. Once I've made this wine, in a few weeks' time for me, when it's matured, fermented, all done, all happy and drinkable, I'll be back and do a taste test. Greetings, and a week has passed since my 2 wines have been stood side by side in the airing cupboard, keeping lovely and warm. Now, they started off at 1.100 on the hydrometer, which is ideal. They give you a wine about 13.5% if it ferments all the way. And one of the first things I noticed with the 2 sugar types in the 2 different wines is that the pure cane sugar fermented much faster. There's a bit froth, a bit foam, whereas the beet sugar didn't seem to have a big initial reaction. It lacked that big burst, that vibrancy, that vigour. So my initial reaction is that the sugar cane is a better fermenter initially, and the hydrometer readings certainly did represent that. 2 days later, I took a hydrometer reading, and the sugar cane had dropped 5 points compared to the beet. So brilliant. And now, a week later, the sugared beet has caught up with the sugar cane. They are neck and neck at 1.070. So they are both doing equally well. But they still have a long way to ferment out until they are dry before I can bottle them and do that taste test to see if I can pick out any difference between the 2 sugar types. And I just wonder, will there be a difference? I do not know. So I'll either update you with another hydrometer reading in a week's time, or go straight into that wine taste test. Fantastic. So until then, see you soon.
Several months have passed since my 2 sugar varieties have been fermenting away and maturing and becoming brilliant. As you can tell, it's been a while. My beard has grown back from being clean shaven in the previous clip. Anyway, I now want to do the taste test of the 2 different wines. The tea bag wine containing the sugar cane and the tea bag wine containing the sugar beet, just to see if there's a difference in taste between the 2. Fermentation wise, they both got down to about 0.990, so they fermented all the way. However, the silver spoon, the sugar beet, fermented initially a lot more aggressively and vigorously. However, the sugar cane, the Tate and Lyle, seemed to take a lot longer to reach that dry point. And it carried on bubbling and carried on fermenting for a lot longer. So I don't know if that elongated fermentation will impart any difference in the flavour due to that fermentation. So, best way to test is pour a glass. I did my best to make the wines near identical in a scientific way so that both wines would come out near identical due to the ingredients. The only variation is the sugar type. So, colour-wise, I can't see any difference between the 2. No difference on the nose, if you ask me. Now, I think it's going to be on the taste buds that the variation between the sugar beet and the sugar cane will be noticeable and prominent. So, let's get into drinking. Well, to be honest, my conclusion is that I can't tell any difference between the 2 sugar types in the wine. I would pretty much say they are both delicious. There's no earthiness coming from one or the other. There is no earthiness coming from the beet, which some people say adds because it's grown underground and is more earthy, the sugar beet, compared to more leafy floral from the sugar cane because it grows above ground. So should you beat it or cane it? My conclusion is you should just make it and drink it. It does not make a lot of difference which you use. And if you want to check out another wine making experiment, why don't you check out this video up by here, and I'll see you all again really soon for another video. You have a good day now. Wine.